day-to-day pressure, some said stagnation played a role in their decision to leave their tech jobs.
I was looking at the trajectory of the job over time, and I didn't really see the growth opportunities I wanted.
In fact, a 2020 survey of more than 4,000 tech workers found that, following salary, the opportunity to learn new skills was the second largest motivator to accept a new job offer. The same survey found that 58% of tech workers would leave their current job for another one if presented new challenges and problems to solve. Jack imagined his life 10 years into the future.
You're still in the same office, have the same desk, have the same chair, same commute. So the details change, but your life is kind of the same.
Arsentieva agrees that the desire to keep learning and growing played a part in her decision to leave.
In 2019, at the end of the year, I was talking with my manager that I want to do something else. I want to learn something else. And it just happened that my interests were not aligned with the interests or the needs that the company had at the time.
Arsentieva.
Let's talk about this, guys. So you see that people are choosing to leave for a higher salary to learn new skills and so forth. That's very important. That's very, very important. And the whole point of this chat really is to talk about also to have a plan. And what it is you should see where you want to be just about every single year within your career. If you want to get to a six-figure salary, have a plan. What is it that's going to align or take for you to get to that six-figure salary? You start off as a software engineer, you move up and continue on, but you have to figure out how you can actually get to that six-figure salary. When you're in a role and you're working for a company and you say, okay, well, what's my next plan after I get into this company? It's not just to sit here and hopefully it's not for you to just, be comfortable with $60,000 and think that you're balling and go out there and buy that new car. No, what is your next plan? What is your next plan? Is your plan to make more money? Is your plan to gain new skills? Does the company give you an option to do that? Does a company give you an option to do that? What the gentleman said is he, thought about what it's going to look like 10 years from now working for a company like Uber. He's probably going to be in the same role. So there wasn't going to be much of an opportunity for him to climb within that company for his specific role. Being in tech, and a lot of times in having these tech positions as a developer, you have to figure out how long you want to be in that role as a developer. Otherwise, you can get stuck as a developer and continue to have this burnout. You have to think about what's next. What's next is climbing the ladder, becoming a product manager, becoming a project manager, becoming a program director. All these roles are going to give you a little bit more flexibility so you don't have to do the tough task of developing all day, traveling 268 days out of the year. Now you can manage people. And then when you are a manager and you see people who are experiencing this level of burnout, you can then help them to create a lifestyle that's going to be more beneficial for them. Give them some balance or help them with their balance. You have to have a plan. It is important to have a plan on multiple facets, multiple aspects of it to increase your salary. You don't want to be doing this all day for the rest of your life. To gain new skills, to earn new skills. Have a plan. So let's listen to what new skills that she wanted, and let's see how she decided that she wanted to gain those new skills. Does a company allow for you to gain those new skills? Are you in a position where they're going to give you an opportunity to gain those new skills and learn those new skills? If the company doesn't, you have to figure it out on your own. Certifications, going back to school. We're going to all face roadblocks within our career. I faced many of them. I got to a certain level within management as a director, and I saw no place for me to move up in the company that I was at. I wanted to learn new skills. I went back and got my MBA. It's like, all right, well, I got my MBA now. I'm going to be making, or I'm going to be more valuable in the market. Maybe it's time for me to look for another job because I'm not going to get to that senior director role, but I want a VP role. So I went out there and created that situation for myself. check internally first to see if you're going to be able to get those opportunities. If not, you have to make an ultimate decision. You have to have a plan. Let's see what they say.
Persevered out of a sense of loyalty. Her company had hired her with almost no experience after she immigrated to the US from Europe. But she volunteered to leave when the company downsized due to the pandemic and spent the next 6 months studying web development. Claire Shapiro joined Google straight out of college and quickly began pulling in a 6-figure salary. But after years in a number of different roles, she felt stuck in the tech bubble.
I heard from so many other people that had other diverse experiences outside of Google, that you can't really fully appreciate Google or you can't really understand without having this kind of other context. It did feel like, well, wow, if I don't leave now, I could stay here for the rest of my life.
In 2018, Shapiro took a 50% pay cut and moved to Belgium for a new position as a design consultant for the Board of Innovation.
I thought, I think the work that I am doing is not energizing me to the fullest, and I think I could probably find that potentially outside of Google. And I did. Right now I'm making less than I made at Google, but that's partially by design. I really am prioritizing not as much the salary side and more of the work-life balance and having experience side of it.
In an industry as competitive as tech, top talent is crucial, and those who leave are doggedly pursued to return.
Google does an excellent job of maintaining connection with people that leave. I had a dedicated recruiter that I could call at any time that checked in with me once a year, asked me how my job was going, asked me what I was doing.
I get recruited still to come back into a big tech company, and I always just it makes me happy because I'm like, yes, keep trying to get me back into the system, but I'm busy.
If you didn't have this grand vision,
So guys, check this out, right? Here's some game for you. I watch Anton Daniels as well. And he most recently took a job. And a lot of people were like, why is he taking a job? Because he's a millionaire and so forth. Well, if a company's going to come to you, giving you $1 million a year, wouldn't you take that as well? Look at these. These are founders of companies right now that have gone out and done their own thing or chose to leave the corporate America game. They're still getting tapped on the shoulders by recruiters because, one, they were pretty excellent at their roles. Two, they're valuable for the company that they're working for. And three, the company would actually pay you more money than you probably were getting paid while you were there because your skills have increased. You're more valuable to them now. They weren't able to give you the experience probably working for the company at that point in time. Not at the pace that you wanted it to. My old company that I left calls me back all the time. Antoine, you want to come back? Antoine, you want to come back? No. Maybe one day. Who knows? The package is $1 million, maybe so. But I'm fine where I'm at. I don't have to worry about it. If I choose to leave tomorrow, I can leave. Think about that, guys. These are people with a plan. Now, they may not have started off with a plan. But they gain the skills. They climb the ranks. We're all going to experience this, especially if you're a graduate getting into the workforce. You're going to experience that burnout. You have to really understand what it is that you really want to do, what the ultimate outcome is 5 years, 10 years from now. Continue to work towards that. If it is to be a CEO of a company, go ahead, choose that route. Get out of that early entry-level position as fast as possible. So you're going to have to sharpen up your skills really well. Develop your hard skills and your soft skills more importantly, in order for you to climb. Get to that management position. Get to that director position. Get those stocks. Get that equity. Become valuable. Learn. Switch it up. Let's continue on.
you think that you would have left tech?
No. I don't think that I would have left tech if I didn't have a vision or didn't have an internal purpose that was driving me.
And going back is certainly tempting.
For me, I don't think that I would go back unless the sort of structure and the roles that I would want to have kind of came into Google. So who knows? If Google and I meet again, I won't be mad about it.
After a 6-month hiatus, Arsentieva got another tech job, this time as a software engineering manager at a company that helps match customers with car and health insurance.
Do you feel like you are less burnt out from this job?
Honestly, no. I want to give the best I can, so I put a lot of hours, but it's never asked of me. Actually, in reality, my manager told me I should stop working so many hours. And
this is something else that I want you guys to learn as well, too. You know, I manage and have managed women as well, too. And I manage men. But you really have to, she's creating her own issue here. This is twice that she's been with the company and she wants to be really good at her job. I understand that. And we all want to be really good at our jobs. The people who really climb the ladder are the ones who put in the work and they do it and they have a plan and trying to get from out of that role as quickly as possible. They want to get out of that role as quickly as possible, so they want to learn as much as they can so they can get out of that role as quickly as possible. She, on the other hand, experiencing burnout, takes it to another job, experience burnout. This is a personal issue with her. She's creating her own situation. Know your limits. Have boundaries. Set those boundaries with your job. Set those boundaries with your manager. If they're asking for too much, have those conversations. Have those conversations. I would say this, though. Early in your career, you might want to just suck it up. If you want to get to a certain point, you might want to just suck it up. Unless you are really have a really good relationship with your boss and you're really going through some serious issues, then you can have a conversation with them. Or if you feel like you're just getting burnt out, just go ahead and have a conversation. Most people will understand. Hey, I'm on the road for 200 days out of the year. I said that. They were like, Antoine, you got to finish the project. And I finished the project. But one thing that I did get from out of that was a President's Club trip. So it ended up working out. A nice bonus. Not only a nice bonus, a new position. They know, especially if you're a good worker and you come to them, they're going to be like, oh, we got to do something about this. But you have to speak up a lot of those times, guys. But if you are early on within your career and you haven't proven yourself yet, it's going to be very hard for you to get there, guys. It's going to be very hard for you to complain. But the whole point of me stopping on her was a lot of times we end up creating our own situation. Know your limits, know your boundaries. If you're going to work from 8 to 10 at night, that's pretty difficult. That's pretty difficult. How can you not burn out if you're going to just do that nonstop every day of the week? That doesn't make any sense. I want to be good at my job. Yes, we could be good at a job, but there's going to be other ways that you become good at your job as well, too, without having to work 12 hours a day. That's to work smarter, not harder.